I think that's pretty much it for today because this podcast is about to go 3 hours.
Oh, fuck.
I will say this about Atlanta before we end things off. I don't get Atlanta as a show anymore. It's kind of confused me, and I had this conversation on my own podcast about it, where I understand at first in season 1 and season 2 they had A to B narrative from rags to riches, from being a SoundCloud rapper to doing concerts and being his manager and going to different places, stuff like that. For some reason, we're on season 4, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
For some reason, season 3, season 4,
It's
just
just
kind of
season 4.
divulged into like little mini-sodes of certain plot points or creative ideas
It
or
is,
self-contained.
What's the name of the Glover? What's the name of the
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. It's Donald Glover using his podium when he can. That's all it is.
That's all it is now.
Yeah. So he just went from, instead of telling a narrative story,
With
which
messages.
Yeah. I loved the first 2 seasons, and then when the next season started and it was completely different, I was
I
like,
was so confused.
all right, well, it's the Twilight Zone, but for black people.
Yes,
That's what I love about
what it
it.
is.
Yeah.
Like these last, like I've seen the episodes of this. I love it.
But
Like,
here's
I'm
the
okay
thing.
moving away. I've seen stories. I like whatever the
Right.
fuck it is you're doing
But
here.
here's
Right.
the thing, though. You got to make a different show. I don't know if you can get a different show, but you got to separate these two things.
Well, that was the thing,
No.
is that I don't think he can get a different
You
show.
don't know.
So he's using his podium while he has it,
Yeah.
and to be like, I'm going to write this weird show about people
It
getting
fits
money.
to me.
That's the thing. The show's always been
I don't think
weird.
it does.
It's always
fit.
been
The
weird.
show's
yeah.
always been weird and fantastical in weird places. And what he's doing now is he's reveling in that weird place to tell important themes and stories, which is the whole point of all of it.
It was always good.
So-
that was
so
the point of it from the beginning.
Right. Just because he's going a little more into the nonsensical with the lady and the knife, or which is hilarious.
That was
to
funny
me.
as
Yes.
fuck.
Or like the
GPS.
mall that you can't escape, or like the posthumous rapper.
Fucking invisible car in the second
Right,
season.
right.
Like, yeah.
But like no, or like a scavenger hunt for a rapper.
Yeah.
like that stuff. Is it Atlanta on the surface? Yes, because there's a guy with a Cayman and shit, fucking Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. Is it happening?
Yeah.
And then there's always that one little weird element, and they don't explain it, and they don't need to. And I like that. It doesn't hold your hand everywhere.
but
It
we
has
had
it has a name.
We're talking about Atlanta.
Yeah,
but we
it's-
had a group of people we were following in a progress of
Okay.
2 specific people and the interaction with everybody.
they're still there.
and progressing.
But what is the conclusion to that? Like this is the foundation of the show that began us on this journey. What is the end goal conclusion for that? I understand opening up season. So this is my biggest pet peeve, right? Where like I love both aspects of the narrative side of things and him telling these little small stories. Season 3 opens up with one of the most powerful stories I've never heard about before in my
True,
life,
too.
and it's true,
Yeah.
and that hit me different when I saw that. I literally could not stop thinking about the episode when I first watched it, right? And how the kids survived and went through this whole
No, and
negative
even
experience.
the story like he tells on the boat, that's a true story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm
and
like-
the story that that episode has, that's
Yes.
inspired by a real story.
And if anything, and I wish he could get a second series, because if anything, I'd want him to have these little things.
I would love that.
Oh, I would love that.
I would love that,
because
yeah.
with bringing back what's his name about the cancellation lounge.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
I was
It's great.
I'm like, that's some powerful
brilliant.
stuff. That's some brilliant, powerful
Yeah.
stuff. It's random as hell with the context of we're following Paperboy walking around and stuff like that
On
But I-
drugs.
and on drugs.
Yeah, he was on
because
drugs.
we've had some. I mean, like there's some serious things where like we follow the characters, but there's some crazy nonsense things that happen. Because again, that first episode of season 3 is my favorite episode. On top of the episode where Paperboy, where he thought he was gonna die in the woods.
Yeah, that
And
was
those
a
kids
really
were trying to
good
muck in. I was
episode,
like,
yeah.
bro, this show was like nuts. I was like, wow.
You don't know what you're getting
you don't know what you're getting
at all.
So then what's the problem?
yeah, I was about to
I
say.
think the problem, and I will agree to a point where it's just like it's no longer, it's not what you were promised in a
See,
way.
I never thought I was promised that.
Right.
That's the thing. I knew
Okay.
the first
There's
episode
two
when he's
seasons.
on the bus
No,
and
no,
the
no.
dude walks off into the fucking
But
woods.
there's 2 seasons of this show that follow 4 people, and that's all we had in the first 2 seasons. Season 3, I get we go to a different country,
True.
but it started doing ridiculous nonsense of other stuff.
But it's still the 4
I love
people.
that.
But it's still
It's
the 4
still
people's
them.
it's not,
misadventures.
it's
No,
not
it's
the
not the
4
4
people.
What are you talking about?
There's a lot
like
of
the off stories that they did.
The off-
Yeah.
yeah.
But
They literally,
was okay
they
with.
literally changed the order of the episodes because they didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like the last episode of the last season was not the.
No, it was. It was
no.
like the third. Initially. Yeah.
and they switched them all around, and because it doesn't matter because every episode was a different spinoff. Yeah. I was just honestly a little bit confused because this whole thing was like first European tour. Like in that season, they played their first college show.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they were still trying to make it, and then like in this, I didn't see the newest episode. I didn't see episode 4, but I saw episode 3, and it's like, oh, they already made it. And they're talking about how to become a billionaire. You need to get a white avatar to sing your songs instead of like what's going on. Right. And it's like at what point did they make it? Like I kind of
between season 3. Oh no, was season 2 and season 3. Yeah, because like that time jump is actually in there too. So it's not like we're picking up right where we left off with season 2. Like that big gap that was in between 2 and 3, that actually happens in context of the show. So yeah. Within that time, he blew up, which to me was never the story. We've seen that story a million fucking times.
Right.
I don't know. We've seen it a million times. I think we've seen it like 5.
Every music biopic ever, pretty much.
Lil Dicky.
Yeah. All right, Lil
Dave.
Dave.
No, Dave. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I love Dave, but Dave is a little bit different.
And he hasn't blown up yet, for one. And then 2, it's like in the context of rap. I mean, outside of NWA, which is it's a real story. Like there is no other story like that.
It's exactly like that.
But I wasn't gonna get something exactly like that because it was gonna be a quirky, fun movie.
Because to me, the world has always it's Afro surrealism. That's the name of what that is, and I just want to see that. Like I just want to see those. Like, oh, that's so fucking clever.
The fact that I have an avatar for every type of person: dorky black guy, stoner black guy, rapper black guy, and woman.
There's a whole Arizona commercial where the price is on the can. Like that's in this world.
It's on the can though. Teddy Perkins is a real guy.
Teddy Perkins is real in this world. It's a world.
And his brother.
That's what I love.
And his brother's real.
They were multi-platinum selling artists. Like that's a real thing in the like it's a world. And I fucking love that world. And I don't fuck Paperboy. Great. I want to see more of this world in every corner of it that I can.
And I love how violent.
So be it reparations coming.
I
love that.
I like how violent the world is too. It's very violent.
It's wire like violent.
Dangerous.
It's very dangerous. And then it's Atlanta.
No,
violence is a
that's weird for Sam to say.
Like it's no because like you could there be
violence
walking,
comes out of nowhere.
Right. They'll be walking and having a good time, and then just something crazy.
The whole chicken shack.
Terrifying will happen.
2 dudes playing video games, then rob a fucking chicken shack.
Yeah.
And the guy behind the counter has an AK-40.
Yeah.
Like it's great. That shit is.
It's absurd.
It's totally but it makes sense. It's
No, it doesn't. No.
It does.
It makes sense.
It should not be 2 separate shows because those anthology things set that world.
It's the world. Yeah.
It sets that world.
It would be the same world.
Here's my thing, though. If that was the vision from the beginning, and I'm saying this as like it's not a very consecutive show. Like as far as like this is the A to B story of what's going on. Right now, what is the plot for season 3?
That's not the show.
It's never been the show.
You want the show.
It's always
you want the
themes.
show to be Full
Literally
House.
go back right now and watch season 1.
No, you want the show to be Full House. No, that's season 1. That's a pilot season, and that could be a sample.
Pilot season?
That's a sample of what you can get because a lot of crazy things happen. Like you watch the first season of. Fucking anything, Parks and Rec,
specifically.
You watch, but you watch,
yeah.
or even The Office. The Office is a bunch of vanilla
Always
people.
Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's a bunch of vanilla people going through their trials and tribulations, and by the end of it, you have all these hyper exaggerated characters that people love and enjoy.
Right.
The tone changes.
So yeah,
But even season 2 continues where they left off with the
Not
narrative
really.
of Paperboy's
It gets
story.
weird and weirder.
It gets
as
weirder
It's a
goes
and
little
on.
bit weirder.
Oh, it's a lot weirder. That's the invisible car.
I mean, like-
like that's weird.
that's the club, right? The club with the missing doors.
The hidden door where he does a flippy thing. Like,
But it's still following Paperboy. It wasn't the one-off story. The story
but
plots.
The whole thing has always been theme. It's never been plot. It's theme. So like season 2, Robin season.
I guess we do gotta wrap it up. Yeah.
Season 3 is focus on white people.
Well, on that note, Gertz isn't even at the thing, so it's whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's always. I love it. It's my favorite show in the history of shows ever.
I'm not saying it's a bad show, but I will say it got pretty confusing, and I don't think the average person can.
I don't think it got confusing. It just became it literally became a different. Like I agree with you that it did become not to this extent. I agree with where you're coming from that the subject matter is good.
Yeah.
These are good shows. These are good episodes that these stories need to be told because there is no other Afro surrealism.
No,
I know
not
that
like this.
I know that Woke tried to be that show on Hulu, but
it
I
failed.
didn't watch it,
It's
and
not
you said
good.
it was terrible.
It's not good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Some movies do it. Like what was it?
the one with the horse people.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you,
Sorry
yeah.
to bother you.
Love that movie.
Yeah. That's
Some
Afro-surrealism,
people
yeah.
fucking hate it.
I love
I
it.
don't hate it. I
I mean,
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoy that movie.
that is a movie where you were promised one thing and you end up with horse people running around.
Actual
So-
horse.
That was a wild.
That's what it is, man. It's the most unexpected shit in this.
But the way they
that's
built-
what- if-
No,
But
but
they-
they're
they-
still
they-
talking about success.
no, that's what I like.
No,
man.
but he's talking about that it doesn't follow the narrative of
It
them trying to do
does.
it. No, but it does because they're still
Yeah.
talking about success. Like
And,
the last.
and now we're focusing on how it's ruined them. Basically, this motherfucker's paying to torture people. Basically,
That was very.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
I thought that was a very.
and
effective
that's
episode, not gonna lie.
still earned from that first season.
yeah.
It's still
How they
earned.
One narrative.
How they transform his characters, I will give you that.
No,
yes.
they grow. They grow into just people because now they have money and now they have
Yeah.
influence and now they have access.
Right, but
I mean,
they
To me,
grew-
that's interesting.
They're people who experience trauma that now have resources to do whatever they want to.
Yeah,
Right.
which can be dangerous.
and they don't. Right, which is why what's his ex-wife.
Viv,
Who
Van, yeah.
Van, who went to Europe and started murdering people with a baguette. I'm like,
She
what
didn't
are you
murder
doing?
anyone.
Nah, bro,
it was
she
a lot of
beat-
assault.
She was beating the shit out
She
of people.
beat the fuck out of people
Bro,
with
she
that
let that bread.
baguette.
She let that bread sit up for 2 months straight.
You
And it was
watched
a
Tupac
brick.
die?
She did.
Did she?
Yes, you missed that part, didn't you?
There was
It's rewatchable.
there's so much happening in that show. Give me
My fa-
I
that
guess
shit, I
Oh,
died
that's
laughing.
right, the
I
fucking-
laughed so fucking hard. Oh my god!
That shit shook me.
She
That
was-
was
yeah.
violent. I was like, oh.
Oh my god!
Watch
Yeah, out of
Tupac
nowhere.
die?
Yeah.
That was
she like-
Tupac.
Was she in the car?
No.
No.
Oh, you
it
remember
was
when
in
they go
cult.
to the weird culty place?
Yeah.
And the,
And it's
the
that
paper
one
bag?
dude who's on the bed, and then that paper bag comes and suffocates him.
Plastic bag, yeah.
Plastic bag.
Yeah.
It's like
That was
saran wrap.
Tupac.
I go back. And watch it.
Black Justin Bieber. That was season 1.
Black Justin
That
Bieber.
was season 1. So fuck y'all. It's just been weird from.
Black Justin Bieber, that's
been
right.
weird. It's
I
been
love
weird.
you, Justin. I know, bitch.
We're not denying that it was weird, but the fact that there's an invisible car in the background,
Yeah, Black
that Michael
Justin
Jackson episode, and Black Justin Bieber, that doesn't take a.
Tupac.
A guy with a Cayman.
All right.
I'm talking about the first 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
the fact that all those things happened
It's great.
doesn't take away that this story was focused on 4 people trying to make it, and then at season 2, you had episodes that don't even focus on them at all.
Let-
And then,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, because I feel
Explain
like
to me the Kevin Samuels episode.
I love that episode.
But explain to me what's the point of it for the overarching
Again,
arc
the
is-
world. It's the world. It's this
It's-
a black
it's-
guy actually buying a high school and doing what he wants to do with it, and you have this biracial kid who has played both sides of the fence. It's its own contained story.
And it's Ern's internal monologue, even though he's fully black.
Right, but like what's so I have my own
Because
idea
to
of
me,
that episode.
it stopped being about the characters. It started being about the world. Because I think the world is far more interesting than the characters.
I think he's doing I forgot the name of the phrase or word, but it's being a very
Projecting.
social
Commentary.
on the world. Yes.
Right.
So what? But again, what's the point of that? What's the point of that episode with Kevin Samuels? What's the point of the episode?
world building.
For what? For what? What you can say world building.
do you
For what
mean?
world building?
So the thing is that from his perspective, it doesn't grow the story at all.
Because that's the thing.
But-
Don't focus
but-
on the story.
Well, that's the thing.
Focus
He
on
wants
the
to focus.
world.
We had 2 seasons where you focus on the story,
See, and even in those seasons, I wasn't focused on them. I was more focused on what weird shit's about to happen.
But
in
it
this crazy
happens
world.
so rarely in the first 2
No,
seasons.
it's an
It doesn't.
it's an enhancer. All those things that they do in those little vignette things, like learning about the adopted kids and stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and all those stories, it enhances. It enhances and it gives especially the story with Ern and his
Fubu.
Fubu.
Yeah.
It creates and makes you understand the circumstances of which these characters have grown and lived
Yeah.
in. So by understanding what they've seen in the world that they live in and the dangers that they see in
Yeah.
these narratives, whether it be a black college or a black what do they call it? Jury or quiz, or whether it be having the right FUBU or whatever, or the right jersey, or having what's the other story that they did?
they did a lot of stories.
Right. There's another one, but all of those are elements of their livelihood or upbringing in this world. So if you see that Kevin Samuels episode, that's something that Paperboy and that's something that Donald Glover, I forget his actual name in the show, that's something that they've had to experience or have internalized. So it's just giving you an example of some of the things. And then Trini for Life, that episode 2.
Yeah.
Like that is a example of a lived experience that these characters have. And by letting other people into those little vignettes allows you to understand those characters more.
Okay, so I will admit that Atlanta's kind of evolved into the Black Twilight Zone or Black American Horror Story. Like that's fine. Like
it's not horrific though.
It's not horrific, but it's these little
could
mini.
Be at times.
There are some very.
It can be, yeah.
But there's little, like you said, little mini-sodes of different points to make. Now, I don't understand Sammy too much if they've experienced that before. I understand the point of the Kevin Samuels episode is that now the main focus is the light-skinned kid who mostly tries to portray and identify himself as white because at his school, that is his advantage.
Right.
In the minute a black billionaire comes in with a benefit advantage for those people of color who's never had advantages, and to see people take the one come up that people of color now have and latch onto that to that way they can still have a benefit or advantage or something that they can help themselves out later on in life. And he has to deal with the fact that he's shunned away this aspect of himself and had to be tried to fully imitate that to get this scholarship. And because he didn't get it, and that was a pain point that kind of not ruined his life, but that shaped the rest of his life as an adult.
No, the flamethrower did that.
Yeah, but also the fact that like because he failed at being black, that is now his identity going forward. Is that an advantage that you didn't what you thought was an advantage because you didn't want to play both sides. You latched onto one. Now you are living your life as something that you shunned all throughout high school because you thought that's what's gonna make you cool. And that one instance that being black was gonna be an advantage for you to do great as an adult, and now you're fixated on that, like Cobra Kai and karate.
Right.
You're fixated on that, and that's your whole entire identity. That is a beautiful story. That is a beautiful episode.
I love that episode,
It's a great
and
episode.
that's probably why I'm so easy on it.
But also it's for someone who's not black. It is essentially a Reader's Digest of the black experience that helps me better understand the characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's because I couldn't pass the black quiz when they did it.
Yes.
I thought I knew black people. I didn't know enough. We're getting rated, by the way. So I didn't know any of the. I got 2 right of like the 12 they've asked.
Yeah.
And you got all of them right. You
did.
said right.
Yeah.
And so that made me go, well, do I truly understand black people like I think I do? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
And so that
understand a lot.
helped my knowledge of my ignorance helps me understand what these characters are going through.
Right.
The story about the adoption helps me understand the violence that black people can experience.
What does that have to do about being a rapper?
Doesn't have anything to do with being a rapper. But no. What does it have to do about being a rapper? Because Paperboy
What's up, Paperboy?
had to do a bunch of other stuff that he got threatened to kill a guy or may have killed a guy in the first episode.
Yeah.
Because of that lived experience that now I have insight into. So by having insight into his lived experience, I can understand he goes from a guy who's on the border of the criminal justice system into a success that now wears goofy hats and is a part of diversity panels that are just fake money
episode.
laundering shit. So it's not directly about it, but it doesn't have to be directly about it because you want A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you're getting A, B, C, D, E, F, G with a lot of
We'll acknowledge
sugar.
Colonel Useless.
So Sammy,
I literally said we're getting rated right now.
right? That's fine.
But we're having a deep conversation
are.
about black
And
folk.
see, look,
are you
but-
interrupting black folk?
Hey,
but
stop.
Tell me to stop. It's my show. I do what I want.
It's literally, it's not your show. It's his show. It has his name on the can.
He has a spritzer for it.
He'll allow it.
Like, no, look, my thing is.
Yikes, shut up, my fucks. Why are you interrupting black folk?
You just described exactly the irony. Look, what you just described, that episode, that's why I don't give a flying fuck about whatever this show started off as, because I need that story.
But
that story is important to me because I've never seen a story like that be told and get the point across.
So Tommy, understand my overall point that I'm trying to make is that I am with Marcos on certain aspects as far as it being a television show that began with a distinct narrative.
Right.
At the same time, though, I understand your point, how you desire these messages to be brought out there. I'm trying to converge you two together while at the same time kind of telling Sammy that he's a little bit off. Because what I'm trying to say is that I get that Donald Glover wants to have these things be out there for people to digest about the Black experience. However, Sammy, I do disagree that trying to relate season 1 and 2 to season 3 and 4, it is not the same thing. You can't be like, well, Paperboy is going through the Black experience, and so is the kid that had to that had to save the other kids from the 2 white ladies that tried to murder them and drove off the cliff. Like, but that serious situation is a story that happened in reality that happened that's just happened to Black kids, but that overall is not the Black experience. So you can't connect those dots in a broad stroke of, well, because he went from rags to riches in regards to, but again, that's a. Hold on.
I can't speak on it, so I need you.
I'm just gonna. But, okay, so I guess Tommy's not my opponent. All right, so. But Tommy, you get what I'm saying as far as like I can understand that one instance as a story that need to be told so people can. I didn't know what that situation was until that episode where I had to look it up and be educated on it.
You learned something. Yeah.
I did learn something.
Right.
But
Seasoning.
that has nothing to do with the seasoning. Cool. That has nothing to do with the season 1 and 2.
And
in regards to the overall Black experience.
Here's a question I have. And the Black experience, 4 seasons of this show can't cover it.
No, of
but
course
the
not.
fact they get into nooks and crannies that nobody else does. And the thing is, what is more valuable? I'll ask you this. What is more valuable? A stupid-ass plot about a rapper trying to make it, or that shit you saw with the biracial
First of all,
kid?
you don't think it's a stupid-ass plot. It's only stupid compared to the deep
Yeah,
episodes we're
because I know
getting
what
at.
happens now. It's completely just irrelevant after the fact.
That's a great point. Yeah.
But like, yeah, what do you value? Would you rather have that, or would you have something that you go away from like, fuck, damn, that was...
And that's fair.
Yeah.
I promise you right now, let's say we took out season 1 and season 2 completely. In Atlanta, let's say Atlanta
was strictly just
let's say
the
Atlanta,
vignettes, yeah.
let's just say season 3 episode 1 was season 1 episode 1.
Right.
And it started off that way. And the show title Atlanta is just these are things that took part in a mostly majority Black city. And here are the stories being told in this city, but nothing is consecutive narrative-wise, right?
Right.
That'll be a phenomenal show to watch because we don't know what we're getting next episode or what story they're going to tell, what message there is.
That's the way it is now.
So, I mean,
Right now.
I mean,
Oh, is that way
Not
from-
then, it would not know.
Every
Not then.
episode.
So
is
Teddy
different.
Perkins, you expected?
Yeah, you expected that episode to pop up?
is that the
Teddy
Michael
Perkins,
Jackson?
Exactly. You did not.
Teddy Perkins is insane.
The episode
Is-
before that was
is that
Champagne
the-
Poppy.
Is that
you
the,
didn't expect that
Is that
shit
the Michael Jackson
Yeah.
episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is-
I was
season
okay
2,
with
right?
that one.
Huh?
This is season 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still about
Yeah,
one of the 4
exactly.
main characters, though.
Right, but
Well,
that's
he's
what...
just there.
but I do have a semi-fair comparison to make.
Okay.
So let's say that randomly She-Hulk next season just becomes about other powerful women. Like it's just
different.
how that's what the,
That's Marvel. They you sign up for a certain
No,
thing.
but I'm not-
That's like saying the first 2 seasons are about She-Hulk, and then season 3 starts with a story about Korg, right?
Not exactly.
Or Korg, but Korg being like
But I
superpower
was
related
saying-
to
I
Hulk
was trying to
stuff.
stay on theme that it's just
Yeah.
like the She-Hulk becomes about women. Like it just becomes about powerful women
Okay.
and the struggle that women go through. Like it just like She-Hulk's not even in
Are
the
the
next
superheroes though?
Sure.
But
It just changes the narrative of
No. Nah.
that's not. But you see his point. Like, I'm
See,
with
it doesn't work though.
Yeah, it's apples and oranges.
It's
what they're
apples
doing.
and oranges.
Yeah.
Because it's look.
So what you're saying is you want 2 separate but equal shows.
So you want to finish this dumbass
mean,
narrative that I'm
I
not
don't
going to
know
watch
what that
because I
joke
can
was
get
he was
2
trying to
fucks
make.
about
It's
Paperboy.
a segregation joke.
Plessy versus Ferguson joke.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's a 3/5 of a joke, if you will.
That was
Still want my
Anyways.
40 acres, but yeah.
I'll take the mule.
You can
I don't know
have
what I would do with a mule.
I don't need
I'm
one.
broken
I
at
just
this
need
point.
the acre.
I'm broke.
It's called history jokes.
I don't know.
You get 'em.
Where do I go from here? But
There you go.
Just take the L at this point. That's all it
you know
is.
what?
Yeah,
you know,
you're not convincing
Marcos,
me.
and then
Not me.
you and I.
The big meathead, dumb side, cultural men.
Yes.
And funny. And
Yes.
good looking.
We shake hands.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Does that make you feel better?
Do
take
I get to pick?
That's the most I've gotten in my life.
Yeah. I was like, is it a dealer's choice, or?
I'll let you have all of it. I've been argued into submission. So I'm like, we'll just have different points.
Yeah.
And you can be wrong. It's fine.
At the end of the day, we all love Atlanta.
Yeah, we all do.
We all love
Everybody
Atlanta.
here does,
Just as a show,
Casual model, and we're leaving.
yeah. Just as a show, I do think this show should be separated.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yes.
I mean, I do.
I would love to see
I
that,
do
too.
understand why he did it.
Yeah.
They were not going to give this dude another show.
Not at all. Wish I should.
Well, now they should. But I mean, I think they kind of ruined it because they gave the other writer Twilight Zone, and that one didn't work out.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
no, everybody dislikes the new
I didn't
Twilight
know.
Zone.
I
Key and
know
Peele
about
or
that.
Peele,
Yeah.
Jordan Peele.
Peele, yeah, it's not good.
Is Jordan Peele a
No.
producer on this?
No.
No.
Nope.
No.
I had no clue. I didn't catch up with that. Twilight Zone's not my thing, but I didn't know that was bad.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
watch Atlanta instead.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah.
But yeah. All right.
And Childish Gambino is dead.
What do you mean?
He's not making more music.
I know I saw one of his
He's
last
not dead. I
performances.
mean, he'll
Makes
come
sense.
out again.
Nah. His last album sucked. Where are you going?
He has to urinate.
We're about to
Do you
end
want-
the show.
We're good. We can leave.
Do you want to? I mean, do you want to keep it going? I don't know. There's
No.
20 people.
Oh, I don't
120
know.
people? I mean, you look exhausted.
I mean, I'm going out, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the funny thing, folks. For those of you just joining us, you were watching Chris Herman and Patrick Gertz, star of the Commitment to Excellence sports podcast show every Tuesday at the Excellence Podcast. They ended, and then we were going to wait for Gertz to get over here so we could go karaokeing after, because I live next to a karaoke
Is
bar.
that what you guys are doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh,
We're
God.
going to go karaoke.
I'm good.
Mama said, mama.
I just want to say hi to Gert. I'm gonna have a beer too and
You
leave.
see him all the time. He does. He comes up.
Yeah, but I need to finalize. I need to finalize plans
see.
for Sunday for where we're gonna watch the game.
Yeah, because we're going to teach Eliza how to play football.
Yeah.
We're
Or
gonna,
watch
teach,
it.
no,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
have
teach
him-
Elijah how to watch football.
It's a punishment.
We're gonna have him a catch so he can learn how to play football. And join us for Black Excellence, because we're the Excellence here at the program. But the Black Excellence is going to be on Sunday after football.
Yes,
I think we're
Coolio,
are we
by the way.
are we getting rid of the Sunday night show? We're not watching the Sunday one to do the show, right? Sunday night football.
I thought we were just watching the afternoon game.
Yeah, it's never good.
And so, yeah, rest in peace, Coolio, man.
Yeah.
Ray's inspiration to get into rapping.
Is that really?
Are you serious?
Gangster's Paradise was the first one of the, to my knowledge, is one of the first, if not the one that hooked Ray Tone Royal into
That makes
rapping.
sense.
And he was like, "I love this song. What can I do this?" And
I'm
then
surprised
that
Ray didn't
spurred
kill him earlier then.
Oh, man.
I mean, for behind the scenes things, we think Ray is just that.
him. The Black Excellence hosted by Patrick Gertz.
We think
He's invited.
Yeah.
is he? Is it?
If as long as it's more than there's got to be 3 other black people.
I was
he's
about to do a
invited.
Gertz impression, but I don't know what he says. He needs a catchphrase.
Oh,
have
do you
a
not understand him?
catchphrase.
Because we made a YouTube video about who is Gertz.
We did.
Did you?
He did actually.
Oh, no, because you kept asking him questions for the intro,
Yeah.
and you kept asking him questions on the outro.
Really?
And so I usually just combine those because it's just fluff for
Yeah.
extra content. And they're all about Gertz. I was like, let's name it fucking what about who's Gertz?
And you said it's doing pretty well.
It did pretty well, actually.
People want to know about the guy. He's a mystery.
Tommy, you're more of a mystery at this point
Am
than
I?
Gertz. Yeah.
I'll tell you everything.
What's your favorite food?
chicken fried steak?
Really?
Really? I know you liked it.
love
Where's the
it.
best chicken fried steak in Austin?
Oh fuck, it's a few.
Galaxy Cafe.
Galaxy's pretty good. I like it's this place in Cedar Park, Blue Corn Harvest. It's farm to table, but their chicken fried steak's pretty legit.
I like chicken fried steak too. I
It's
enjoy
delicious.
I like chicken
Yeah,
fried
you'll like
steak
that.
until I look at the calorie count. I'm sorry, guys. It's too much.
It's massive.
Oh,
yeah.
it leaves more for me. It's
Exactly.
fine.
It's like 2,000 calories.
Yeah.
not
I don't
enough.
need to eat anything else the rest of the day.
It is delicious.
No,
great.
that's from like the one from Applebee's. Like you're probably getting a bigger
Give me
serving.
3 sides. I'll take 3 sides.
Yeah, double the loaded.
So
mash.
it'll be 3,000 calories by the time you're done.
I'm going for 4.
That's your whole.
hey, Marcos, we're not gonna have a functioning grid in a few hours. So for the winter, we're bulking up. We'll be ready.
Is
We'll
it
be
gonna
able
get
to
cold in a few
store
hours?
all of our fat reserves are gonna be fine.
It's great living in Indiana where we have salt for our highways.
That's true.
No,
Yeah.
it's never. Hold on. No one's ever said it's great living in Indiana.
That's
full stop. No
no-
one's ever said that. Don't you ever say that in my presence again.
We have salt.
We have
the
salt on our
highways.
highways.
Salt. Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want to move to the Midwest sometimes because I look at how cheap.
To go be at the Top Golf.
Because I look at how cheap their houses are.
But
It's
you're
eight-
Chicago.
Then you gotta go
guy.
live
That's
in there.
Midwest.
You gotta
Yeah.
go. Yeah, of
You can't
course.
stay away
I
from
promise you. I
Chicago.
promise you. If y'all bought a house in the Midwest, took your money right now. Bought a house in the Midwest, flip it, come back to put a down payment or like buy another house here. I guarantee you'll be in a better spot.
I'm sure. That means I have to go.
Do you know one of the main things
I
that
don't
people
want
do when they have money in the Midwest?
Heroin.
When you go to
Red Lobster.
shit.
Heroin and Red Lobster.
Yes.
In the same
The dynamic duo.
In the same day. Dude, no, there's so many people. You take that money, you go to a college town, you buy one of them old ass houses, and you rent all the rooms out.
Go to Bend, Indiana.
Fuck.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, in Muncie,
I believe you.
Dude, in Muncie,
I didn't know Muncie was a place.
Some doctor
the
bought
housing crisis.
Some
Got
doctor,
it.
but that's what people
Exploit children. Got it.
My rent was $250
all of
a
college
room.
still kind of exploits.
They're from the Midwest.
Are they really children at that point? They all eat corn and they all
some doctor bought
all the children of the corn.
Yeah, they lift bales of hay. They might be
For
mutants
fun.
over there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only fun you have.
I don't know.
That's all you get.
It's just hay bales and apple orchard
In
basketball.
cornfields.
Yeah,
funny,
and
like
corn.
when
And nothing else.
Yeah.
It's funny, like when Sam sees the Midwest, he just sees like farmland, and
Oh, that's all
like,
I see.
Yeah,
What's in the Midwest?
Tornadoes and
the number one
cornfields.
roller coaster park in the
It ain't
world.
worth it, man.
Yeah.
Go to Disney World or Disneyland.
Yeah, be a real
First of
adult.
all, you're not a fan of either
Oh, I
of
hate
those.
both of those, but they're better than the Midwest.
But guess what you can do after
I'm so
Disneyland?
sorry.
Guess what you can do after Disneyland? You wake up the next day. I'm gonna take a nice quick drive to the beach or
You're
the
landlocked.
mountains.
Have you been to a beach before?
They have beaches in the They have beaches
I
in the
know
Midwest.
they
Born
have
in
lakes.
Georgia.
That's not a
Oh,
beach.
okay. I didn't know that.
That's next to. That's being next to.
I was born in
water.
Savannah.
I actually need to see if a
shit,
beach
alright.
is that. I wonder if there's a. different term
We
for
have a
that.
beach in Indiana.
Yeah.
it's
You
right
don't.
next to the lakes.
That's not a beach. That's a lake.
That's
Yeah,
but
the
that's it's a big lake. They
that's-
call it the Great Lakes for a reason.
Well, I don't give a rat's ass.
Well,
It's not- don't
because,
you believe that
because
shit?
here's
It's
the,
not real.
Here's the definition technically. A pebbly or sandy shore, especially by the ocean, between high and low water marks. So just because it's especially doesn't mean uniquely it's a beach, but it's embarrassing to be like,
Coast.
I went to the beach coast. There you go.
Coast.
You
But
gotta
it said
know
a
coast.
rocky
And the
or
South
pebbly
Coast
beach.
is not a real fucking place, by the way.
Yeah, see,
We're from Texas. We have the South Coast. Shut up.
We call it the third coast. and
Shut up.
It is. I mean, it's got water.
There's
it's
no-
terrible
See,
water.
this is who you're
But it's-
agreeing with. Like
I
this,
didn't want. He did this.
Think
I
how-
didn't try.
Think how bad Indiana has to be for that to happen.
We're back on the same page. Yeah, it's terrible. It has to
It's
just
less
be.
about being pro me and
Do they have
against Indiana.
seafood in Indiana?
Yeah, we have seafood.
First of all,
Yeah, they have eyes. They look at the
First of
food
all,
and they go,
I-
seafood.
I don't even want to eat seafood here, there, or Sam's Play. I don't want to eat seafood at all after learning most of it has parasites.
Oh yeah, a lot. of
yeah,
it
they
has
do a lot of
Delicious.
you
I
prepare
don't
some
fuck
way.
with
Delicious.
too
They're dead
much
anyway.
fish.
You cook them. They cook
Hey, here's
them in there.
what-
I heard a horror story from working in a restaurant, which was put any piece of fish in the microwave.
Oh, and they
Oh,
wiggle
no.
out. They wiggle out if they're fresh.
Well, also, isn't it
God
salt water?
damn. Yeah, that's terrible.
Is it salt water that you put seafood in salt water? Then maybe they might kind of wiggle out or
Yeah.
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's got microplastics anyway, so we're fine.
And that's what I'm kind of saying. At this point, I'm like, if I'm gonna die, I'm just gonna die.
Well, you gonna. We all
Yeah,
are.
in
we're all
Indiana.
gonna die.
But would
But
you
don't
rather
wanna
do it in Indiana?
though.
I mean,
no, I don't want to die.
Sorry to the
Okay,
people
well,
that
there you
live in
go.
Indiana. All one fan who's here actually.
But it's like here's the thing though, right? If it got cold right now, what are y'all gonna do besides like freeze to death in your house?
I mean, I can survive.
Turn the
That's just
heater
me.
on?
Hanging out with this. guy.
If the power goes out,
Hey, your grid goes down, ours doesn't. We have way worse
I'm
winters
not
than you do.
defending Texas, dumbass. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got
I
contingency
mean,
plans to
his
go
grid
to
goes down too in
Louisiana.
California. They are the
True.
That
They're
shit
the
goes
origin.
out on a regular day.
Yeah, that was the originator of rolling blackouts.
Right?
Texas power grid goes out more in the nation in the last 20 years of 50,000 people or more, which means okay, I know who's next. Like I think it's like some other random
haven't
place,
experienced that.
some other random place, and then third is California by several hundred fewer in the last
Yeah.
20 years. The stats came out. Texas has a worse power grid and has more grand failures.
Well, I believe that. I haven't had the
Marco's-
issue.
Also-
Yeah, I was about to say I haven't actually seen that, but that's fine.
it
I
sounds
mean,
about right,
I've lived
yeah.
in several parts of Texas, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We get some pretty wicked
I mean,
tornadoes, and
the
our grid will
the
So do we.
flicker. Listen,
There's
our
Texans
grid
going
will
not
flicker
believing in
at
science.
best, but
I mean, that's
it'll
probably
keep
what
on
he's
going.
counting to get to that stat. It's
Yeah.
just flickers. It's like,
No,
oh, no.
these are outages of 50,000 customers or more
For how long?
for as long as the study has it.
So like a random look.
So they're like-
No. That's what you want it to believe because you don't want to be wrong.
Oh, no, I
the
believe
math
you.
and the science is there. The math and the science is there.
Have you
But
seen
you
our
want to
governor?
nitpick.
Yeah,
You want
that
to,
makes
yeah,
sense.
you want to nitpick the science to be right.
No, I want to define the science,
Well,
but
then-
you
well,
just want.
Do you want to do it on this podcast, entertaining people?
We do have a
Again.
computer right here. We can look it up.
No, I'm actually just trolling.
He said, I was
There it is.
There's something funny about trolling Sammy. That just kind of.
It's because I'm always right.
That's why, because you believe you're always right, and it's not
But I
always
was
the
right
case.
there. I was right about Atlanta. I was right about Rogue One.
Those are all opinion based.
Did you notice it got worse?
Right.
I was right about the bear being me and telling you guys to. Are you fucking with me right now?
He literally said that.
Which would make
This is you guys holding a donut, and this is me. Stop fucking with me.
Still edible.
And I taste this. You don't have to go. It's pretty good.
5-second rule. Yeah, you'd be good. But yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming out. Just as a heads up, we will be doing a podcast Sunday with the Black Excellence with TJ from Double Toasted.
You mean TJ from the Mexcellence?
Tommy from Double
And
Toasted.
Tommy from the Mexcellence?
And Elijah
and Marcos from oneofus.net, because we don't fucking claim them.
To the topic.
And Back to the Topic podcast, where you can find Back to the Topic podcast on all social media, audio, and physical discs.
All right, physical disc, but yes, all digital.
You guys do Laserdisc, right? For your
do not do
episodes?
Laserdisc.
Why the
8-track.
fuck not?
We are mostly on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Look at us up for YouTube. Back to the Topic
Xvideos.
Pod. I actually said that on our last podcast. Like, what if we just did this? We just upload a podcast
Do a
episode.
porn. It's fine.
No, I'm saying, like, what if we just?
I don't want that.
You know, people leak stuff
There
on
you go.
pornography websites. They're like, hey, here's a whole
It's
movie
called publicity.
to Avengers when it got leaked. It's on porn, and nobody took it down because it's porn. And it's kind of like, well, we just put a podcast on those videos, but like because of
Be
certain,
highly upset.
we all have certain careers that we cannot do that.
Watch porn?
No, we
Be
can't.
in
video
one.
on.
Oh,
Yes.
I was like, what career let you watch porn?
Terrible.
And special shout out because we got rated by Gertz on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock.
Hell yeah,
we
Glock.
do the NFL podcast. If you're an NFL fan, I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, we know you're not.
Oh, 100%.
Oh no, I'll just give a shout out to Goliath. But yeah, we're gonna force you to.
I'll be here if Gertz wants me here. Gertz, if you want me here, I'll
he
be here
will.
at the
He's
sports.
on the chat. He's already
Oh,
at
thank
the bar.
God.
Yeah,
All right,
Gertz will absolutely want.
He will be at the bar though in 15 minutes.
Oh, I
so.
cannot wait.
Yeah.
I hope there's food at the bar.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you have an hour left. I think.
So you know what I ate today?
it's a bar grill.
I had breakfast and I had a protein shake after I left the gym, and I've not eaten anything else.
He made me breakfast. It was really nice of
Why?
him.
No, because Sammy's let me stay here. So listen, man.
So I stayed here. I ain't cooking. He
you-
made me food.
Oh, I
You
know
know what's
Chris
money?
Payne.
Listen, you know what's money Sammy's saving me by letting me be here? Like, dude, fucking, I gotta get.
Wait, what bullshit career that you have that you can't get naked on camera and fuck for money? You fucked
Who said that?
You limited yourself in life. Is what you did.
Who said that?
That's pretty
First of all,
funny.
who
That's
said
pretty
that?
great.
And
Well, sofa
what-
poker sounds like they fuck sofas. So
What job do you have if you can say in the chat? Because I want to call you on that
That was a
bullshit.
joke. That was a joke.
Oh, I want to say.
Now you got trolled.
yeah.
Okay. I want to say like every job.
dungeon.
Like
That was great.
And like, every job. What are you talking about?
Oh.
But it's
Good night,
not hard,
everybody.
though.